everyone, and welcome back once again. Today we've got a bit of a first. While it is a die cast that we're working on, it's a 1/24 scale. And this particular 1/24 scale happens to be for a body guy. There might be a bit of perfectionism going on with this one. Now, the reason that I'm starting where I'm starting as far as the visuals are concerned is definitely not because I lost some footage. Now you can ignore the wheels, they're for a different build, but this railing, that's for this one. Now the bed of this particular truck is plastic. The body, however, is actually die cast. Now I've never really worked with plastic, but I don't want to ruin the bed, so we're going to be doing some very minor experimentation. I did sort of get the inside track on how to prepare the bed for primer, so that's why I'm using the little sanding block now. This is going to have to look really, really intensely good, especially if we want Darrell, the body guy, to give his approval. I am absolutely jumping the gun on putting the railing on the bed, but I was excited. This is actually UV resin print, so once I've got it glued down, I'll hit it with the UV light. Once again, I might be jumping the gun a little bit by priming the bed, but I can reprint the bed. I cannot reprint the die-cast body. And speaking of 3D prints, look at that. Those are the wheels for it, and they look fantastic. The actual rims on the actual truck are Steelies with dog dishes and beauty rings. What do you think? Just like the railing, these will have to be cured with UV light. Somewhere in her office, Foggy's got one of those nifty UV light things for nails. I think I'm going to steal that before the end of the video. For now, though, I need to rejoin the bed and the cab and check the height on the railing. With the benefit of hindsight, I probably should have done this already. Yeah, this is what excited Victor gets. He gets to redo stuff. Still though, I'm pretty satisfied with the progress. I'm definitely going to have to 3D print this grill, but I'll skip you the Tinkercad session and we'll just move on to the rendering software. Now I will say the design is pretty okay, but even my really good resin printer can't get down to that kind of level of detail. It'll be close, but it won't be perfect. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to 3D print the motor, parts of the dashboard, the interior. You're probably gonna see a lot of 3D printing in this one. The rear window, though, is definitely one of the more striking features on the truck. Oh, what am I saying? Most of the details on this truck are striking. I know there's one thing that I'm going to nail perfectly, though, thanks to Darrell. Yeah, how about that, folks? I got real automotive paint for this one. As a matter of fact, it's the exact automotive paint that's on the blue mule. And if you're wondering why I'm rinsing the body now, it's because it was originally silver, and after I had rinsed it the first time, I couldn't see the silver paint that was still on it. Let's get this thing polished up. I'm not entirely sure what caused the goo to leave this white residue on the body. Maybe they changed the formula or something? I don't know. It's taken a little more work, but it is still polishing up pretty nicely. Now, since I don't have any alcohol to wipe down the body, I'll use some nail polish remover and just let it sit for a little longer. Once it's dried, I'll make sure to wipe everything down again with a dry cloth. It may be the second iteration of the railing, but it's the first iteration of the new grille. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. You know, the railing is just about perfect, and the grille's not so bad either. As a matter of fact, if you look at a light through it, you can almost see the cross hatching. It's so thin. Well, let's get these supports off and see if the grill fits. Oh man, it is so close. Maybe a millimeter off the top, but generally speaking, that's pretty good proportionately. Since there's not really much to do on the bed, I figured I'd get it painted and then put it off somewhere safe. After I put the railing on it, of course. Yeah, I am much happier with this the second time around. What do you think, folks? Does that look good or what? So, what's next? Let's get the cab and the doghouse into primer and then we can start tinkering on them. One of the biggest issues that I've found on this larger diecast is that the wheels do not come off of the axles. You might think they were glued in or screwed in, but I seriously think these were pressed on. And given that, there's really only one thing for it: brute force. I will take you a piece at a time if I must. I've had tires come off of cars at speed easier than this. Yes, it got so bad I eventually had to break out my Dremel to get the rest of the rim off. I won't make you suffer through any more of this nightmare, but suffice it to say it took me a while to get the other rim off. Between the creation of the original wheels and the final wheels, I got a new set of calipers. Talk about making things much easier. Thank you so much to Moconnell 663 for the new tool. I can actually read it too. Now, this is a rough rim. I wanted to produce one rim to make sure that the axle would fit. Well, fit with a modicum of persuasion. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Let's get the measurements from the new calipers and get this grill put together again. It's not a disaster, it's just a test piece. Yes, it shattered when I was taking it off the build plate. Even broken into 3 pieces, it still looks better than the grill that's on Stone Soup. I'll probably have to drawing board it one more time, but we need to get on to some other details, like this fender tag and this window plug. Now, Darrell tried to explain what was going on with the window plug to me, and I'm not entirely sure I'm ever going to be able to follow it. I guess for 64 and 66 they had a big back window, but for 65 only they had a small window option, which Darrell's truck actually has. I don't know. It puts lotion on its skin. Shut up and make pretty diecast, Victor. Now this particular plug is just a hair too wide and a hair too tall. I made adjustments to the measurements and printed a second one. Yeah, that's actually really good. I think I'm going to glue this thing down and then fill in the gaps with some body filler. I think even Darrell, the master body guy, would agree with me. The most tedious, time consuming part of your day is making sure that the body panels are straight. Well, that and block sanding. And now that it's holding itself in properly, I'll get out the body filler and fill in the gaps. I think that's enough torture for one episode. Don't forget to join us very soon to see the finished product. Yeah, that's starting to look like something.